market structure. And one reason many traders get confused is because they only see one market structure. Professional traders usually observe two: the external structure and the internal structure. Understanding the difference can help you avoid confusion and improve your trading. And in this video, that's what I'm doing. So let's dive into it. Firstly, the external structure is the larger trend visible on higher time frames. It shows the overall direction of the market. And the examples like your daily time frame, your 4 hours, your weekly time frame, your monthly time frame, those are the external structure that help determine the market bias. And the internal structure is same. It refers to the smaller swings that occurs within the larger trend. These are often seen on lower time frames. For example, during a bullish trend, the 15-minute chart may temporarily move bearish. That does not necessarily mean that the overall trend has changed. So those are the internal structure, and sometimes they can be opposite of the external structure and may cause confusions for you, and which is most of the reasons why many people would counter trade or counter trends. So why this matters is actually because many traders would panic on lower time frame when it's moving against them, disregarding that the higher time frame is moving in the direction they have seen it to be moving, and then the lower time frame is doing something else. Now all of this can cause some sort of panic and make you make bad decisions. So imagine on the daily time frame, higher highs and higher lows, the bullish trend, the external trend is bullish, and on the 15 minutes, the internal trend is, on the 30 minutes, is bearish. In those cases, most people would say, "Oh, okay, I'm here." They want to follow the bearish, disregarding that it was bullish on the higher time frame, and they're supposed to be looking for buys and not sells. So how you would use both is the external structure will determine your direction, while the internal structure is where you would find the entries. So you have to always consider your external structure first, which will give you the direction, and then the internal structure you're supposed to look for trends in that same direction. But to help you refine your entry, your stop loss, and all of that is when you go to the internal structuring and then you utilize that. Now, don't let the lower time frame movement change your time frame. Like I've already said, you have to wait for clear evidence before assuming that the trend has reversed, which you should get that from the higher time frames. So, understanding internal and external structure would help you traders see the market from multiple perspectives instead of reacting to every single move. Now, let's dive into it on the charts. Now, you can see on here, this is XAU USD. When you go to the one monthly, this is the monthly time frame. You can see that on the monthly time frame it's bearish. You can see it's bearish on the monthly time frame. Let's go to the weekly time frame. Same thing, still bearish on the daily time frame, also still bearish. Now these are the external structures of the market. There's not so much to it. If you're able to analyze the external structure and know, oh, there was a breakout here, price retested it when, and then there's another here. If you go on the lower time frame, which is the internal structure, you will see the same thing, and then price broke out, made a reversal back to this point, and you can see it's been doing the same thing. Now that's really just it. So those are the external structuring, and you can see that they all remain bearish. But let me go down to the 1 hour time frame. You can see on the 1 hour time frame, it's still looking very bearish on the 1 hour time frame. But slightly around this area, most traders would have considered, oh, there's a resistance here and price broke here, so it's getting bullish. It's already broke a resistance, and these are just the internal structure. Now, coming from the external structure, which we saw on the 4 hours, on the daily, on the weekly, on the monthly, is bearish. If we come to the 1 hour, to the 30 minutes, to the 15 minutes, everything we should be looking for should be bearish. Is to take sells and not buys. But you have to be patient, because you might get carried away and then start to see something completely different. You have to be grounded enough to still stick to what you saw on the external structuring and do the same thing in the internal structuring. Now on this down time frame, this is where you mark everything out. This is where most traders will mark everything out, but I prefer to mark everything out, probably from the monthly to the weekly to the daily. Those are all for my trends, and then the 4 hours I will mark my resistance, my support, and all of those many things depending on the strategy that you trade. So when I mark all of that out, I would drop down to the 30 minutes perhaps, and then look to refine my entry. So now what most people don't understand is that on this time frame, you can see at this point, most people would have said, "Oh my God, it's moving upwards, it's moving upwards." People that trade on 5 minutes, that would have this is a 30 minutes, that would have created 6 candles. 6 candles of you believing that trend has changed, break of structure, there's a change of character, and all those many things that people like to cloud their charts with. I'm not trying to invalidate that, but I'm just saying. So now you can see on here, this is the internal structuring. The external structure and the internal structure, they both need each other. Anything that's happening on the external structuring is happening on the internal structuring. In fact, the balancing is carried out on the internal structuring more and more effectively, and the external structuring also does the same, but it's a higher time frame, so it's going to be very slow, very different. It might spend the whole week being bullish just because it's trying to correct an imbalance. So you actually would fall for that and be like, oh, it's getting market is bullish now, and in real sense, on your external structuring, it's just trying to correct an imbalance or test something, and it's not really all of that. So you can see that doing all of that just helps you understand that the lower time frame and the higher time frame need each other, but you have to learn how to use it. Your higher time frames, which is usually your 4 hours, 1 hour, weekly, monthly, this should be strictly for the daily, the weekly, the monthly should be strictly for your direction, the trend. And then you can start from the 4 hours and start to mark out your resistance. Or this is my break of structure. This is a break. There was a breakout here. There's a breakout block here, depending on what you trade. But altogether, I'm just telling you this is how you can utilize all of this. And then you come to your 1 hour, to your 30 minutes, to your 15 minutes to see where price is making retests, breaking structures, filling fair value gaps. For those of you that trade that, you just come down there, you check all of that, and then you know, oh, it's this is what's happening. So if I'm coming from the higher time frame, I'm looking for buys or I'm looking for sells. I come to the lower time frame, I wait till I see a confirmation that gives me a go ahead to buy or sell in line with the higher time frame, in line with the external structure. You have to learn to utilize that. So when you go to the higher time frame, let me show you something. When you go to the higher time frame, for instance, you can see all of this happening here. It's ranging, right? But on the lower time frame, a lot has gone, a lot has happened, but it's ranging out here. So if you were to come from this point and you're like, oh, I'm waiting for price to probably break out here because it's bearish, and I'm waiting for price to break out there, most people will just be sitting around that 4018 and they're waiting for a breakout. What I would do is I would scroll down to 30 minutes. I would mark that level out, 18, right? This is it. I will mark it out, and then I'll come to the lower time frame. This will help me refine my entry. So price came down here, it didn't tap into it. Most people would have rushed to buy because fear of missing out of their emotions. And you can see it went back, it came back again, it still didn't get to it, and now it has wicked it out. You can see the wick got to it. So at this point, most people would be like, yeah, they would want to be in a hurry to trade the breakouts. For people that trade breakout, you have to calm down to probably the 15 minutes, which I already told you, which we will mark our level out, calm down, and check the market structuring on the lower time frame so we know when to enter. Because what one thing you need to understand is what's happening on this side, from the opposite side that price is created. This is the side you have to work with. You have to work with this side. So when you have a level on the left hand side and you're trying to work with it, you always have to scroll to the lower time frame and check the structuring on the right hand side and see what's happening. That's how you're going to trade it. So on this level, you can see we were expecting a breakout on this level. Price hasn't really, it has wicked into it, but nothing much has happened. We would wait. Now, there's another level here. It's a 15 minutes, I know, and there's another level here. Wait for price to break that with the candle, not just the wick, with the candle. We would wait for price to break that, and then we'll follow it. And then we'll go to the higher time frame, set our target, our profit target, and that's all. That's really how easy it gets. Don't let yourself get clouded in too many drawings on your chart. That's how easy it gets. So yeah, if you have any questions, do leave it in the comment section. I'll be more than glad to answer them for you. Do have a nice day, and don't forget to share, like, and subscribe.